Chittorgarh pronunciation is a city and a municipality in Rajasthan state of western India. It lies on the Berach River, a tributary of the Banas, and is the administrative headquarters of Chittorgharh District and a former capital of the Sisodia Dynasty of Mewar. The city of Chittorgarh is located on the banks of River Gambhiri and Berach. The district was bifurcated and a new district namely Pratap Garh was created with certain portion taken from Udaipur district in the newly created district of Pratap Garh. Fiercely independent, the fort of Chittor was under siege thrice and each time they fought bravely and thrice Jauhar was committed by the ladies and children, first led by Rani Padmini, and later by Rani Karnavati. The famous warriors Gora and Badal, in the war against Allaudin Khalji, have become legendary. The sacrifice of Jaimal and Patta, two brave army chieftains of Mewar, in the war against the Mughals was so great that the Mughal Emperor Akbar installed their statues in the fort of Agra. It has also been a land of worship for Meera. Chittorgarh is home to the Chittorgarh Fort, the largest fort in India. History. Chittorgarh is the epitome of Chittorgarh caste, pride, romance and spirit, for people of Chittor always chose death before surrendering against anyone. It reverberates with history of heroism and sacrifice that is evident from the tales still sung by the bards of Rajasthan. Though it can now be called a ruined citadel, there is much more to this huge fort. It is a symbol of all that was brave, true and noble in the glorious Rajput tradition. It was named Chittorgarh after Chittorgarh Mori, a Rajput chieftain is inscribed on ancient Mewari coins. The fort is surrounded by a circular wall which has 7 huge gates before one can enter the main fort area. Some accounts say that the Mori dynasty was in possession of the fort when Bappa Rao, the founder of the Kingdom of Mewar, seized Chittorgarh and made it his capital in 734 AD. Some other accounts say Bappa Rao received it as a part of the dowry after marriage with the last Solanki princess. After that date his descendants ruled Mewar, which stretched from Gujarat to Ajmer, until the 16th century. Chittor was one of the most contested seats of power in India, with probably some of the most glorious battles being fought over its possession. It is famous in the annals of the Mewar dynasty as its first capital, and renowned in India's long struggle for freedom. By tradition, it remained the Mewar capital for 834 years. With only brief interruptions, the fort has always remained in possession of the Sisodias of the Gurhilat clan of Rajputs, who descended from Bappa Rao. The first attack was by Allaudin Khalji in 1303 AD, who was enamoured by the beauty of Padmini, of which he had only heard. Rani Padmini preferred death to abduction and dishonour and committed Jauhar along with all the other ladies of the fort. All the men left the fort in saffron robes to fight the enemy unto death. Chittorgarh was captured in 1303 AD by Allaudin Khalji, Sultan of Delhi, who led a huge army. Elderly people then had the responsibility to raise the children. It was recaptured in 1326 by the young Hamir Singh, a scion of the same Gelot clan. The dynasty fathered by him came to be known by the name Sisodia after the village where he was born. Rani Karnavati was a versatile man, a brilliant poet, and musician. He built Mewar up to a position of unassailable military strength, building a chain of 30 forts that girdled the kingdom. But, perhaps more important, Rani Karnavati was a patron of the arts to rival Lorenzo de' Medici, and he made Chittorgarh a dazzling cultural centre whose fame spread across Hindustan. By the 16th century, Mewar had become the leading Rajput state. Rana Sanga of Mewar led the combined Rajput forces against the Mughal Emperor Akbar in 1527, but was defeated at the Battle of Kanur. Later in 1535 Bahadur Shah, the Sultan of Gujarat, besieged the fort, causing immense carnage. It is said that again, as in the case of Jauhar led by Padmini in 1303, all 32,000 men then living in the fort donned the saffron robes of martyrdom and rode out to face certain death in the war, and their women folk committed Jauhar led by Rani Karnavati. The ultimate sacrifice for freedom, Jauhar was again performed for the 3rd time after the Mughal Emperor Akbar captured Chittorgarh in 1568. Then, the capital was moved west to Udaipur, in the foothills of the Aravalli Range, where Rana Uday Singh II had established a residence in 1559. Udaipur remained the capital of Mewar until it acceded to the Union of India in 1947, and Chittorgarh gradually lost its political importance. Bhumais, along with others, in some places, 58, were also involved in anti-Muslim communal violence during the 1893 anti-Muslim riots, 59, and during the partition of India. 58. Chittorgarh is also associated with two very widely known historical figures of India. The first, Meera Bai, is the most famous female Hindu spiritual poetess, whose compositions are still popular throughout North India. Her poems follow the Bhakti tradition and she is considered to be most passionate worshipper of Lord Krishna. Folklore says that her love for Krishna was epitomized by her final disappearance in the temple of Krishna in Dwarka. She is believed to have entered the sanctum of the temple in a state of singing ecstasy, after which the sanctum doors are believed to have closed on their own. When they were opened, later, the sari of Meera was seen enwrapped around the idol of Lord Krishna, symbolizing the culmination of her union with her lord. The great Maharana Pratap, son of Rana Uday Singh II, is regarded as a personification of the values Rajots cherish and die for. He took an oath to spend his life living in the jungles and fighting until he could realize his dream of reconquering Chittorgarh from Akbar. It was the dream greatly cherished by Maharana Pratap, and he spent all his life to achieve this goal. He underwent hardships and a life of eating breads made of grass while fighting his lifelong battle. Maharana Pratap is the greatest hero in the eyes of the Rajots of Mewar. In the absolute dark era of Rajput history, Maharana Pratap alone stood firmly for his honour and dignity, never compromising his honour for safety. With the reputation of a brave man of great character even among his enemies, he died free in 1597. Chittorgarh remains replete with historic associations and holds a very special place in the hearts of Rajots, as it was a bastion of the clan at a time when every other stronghold had succumbed to invasion. It is often called as the Bhakti or Shakti Ki Nagari. The fort and the city of Chittorgarh also hosts the biggest Rajput festival Jauhar Mela. It takes place annually on the anniversary of one of the Jauhars, not the one by Padmini which is most famous. This festival is to commemorate the bravery of our Rajput ancestors and all three Jauhars which happened at Chittorgarh. A huge number of Rajots which include the descendants of most of the princely families do a procession to celebrate the Jauhar. The fort at Chittorgarh also contains the ancient and beautiful temple to goddess Kali called the Kalika Mata Temple. Geography: Chittorgarh is located at 24.88 degree N 74.63 degree E/24.88. 74.63. It has an average elevation of 394 meters. Its beautiful city. Demographics: as of 2011 India census, Chittaugarh city had a population of 116,409. Transport: the completed Golden Quadrilateral Highway system will pass through Chittorgarh, connecting it to much of the rest of India. Also crossing the east-west corridor. The Chittorgarh is situated at National Highway No. 76 and 79, both the highways are crossing at Chittorgarh. National Highway 76 connects to Kotpa within 2 hours. It is well connected by rail with Jaipur via Bhilwara and Ajmer, Kotpa via Bundi, Jodhpur via Ajmer, Indore Junction Berg, Bhopal, Indore Mho, Ujjain, Ratlam, Nagda Junction, Ajmer and Firozabad by many broad-gauge trains. The city is also connected to Udaipur city via Mavli Jn. Thus, Chittorgarh is a major railhead of South Rajasthan. Some weekly trains to Hyderabad and Kolkata are passing through this station. The town still lacks connectivity to Bikaner, Ahmedabad, Jabalpur and Nagpur, so in order to catch trains for further destinations one has to reach Kotpa, Ratlam or Ajmer. Places of interest: Chittorgarh Fort. The Chittorgarh Fort, seated on a 180-meter hill, covers an expanse of 700 acres. It was constructed by the Mauryans in the 7th century AD. There is also a belief that it was constructed by Bhima of the Pancha Pandavas. This fort was the citadel of many great Indian warriors such as Gora, Badal, Rana Kumbha, Maharana Pratap, Jaimal, Patta, etc. Kalka Mata Temple. Kalka Mata Temple was originally built in the 8th century for sun god and was later converted to a temple for mother goddess, Kali in the 14th century. During the festival days of Navaratri, fairs are organized and pilgrims from different places come here to pay obeisance at the temple. Vijayastambh, Vijay is a huge 9-story tower which was built by Maharana Kumar to commemorate his victory over the Muslim rulers of Mewar and Gujarat in 1440. The tower is 122 ft high and stands on a 10 ft high base. There are sculptures and carvings on the exterior walls of the tower. The tower is visible from any section of the town below. And for reaching tower top one have to climb 157 steps, one can take great view of the surroundings. The inside walls of the tower are carved with images of gods, weapons, etc. Kirti Stambh's tower is dedicated to Rishabha, the first Tirthankara of Jainism. It was built by a merchant and is decorated with figures from the Jain pantheon. It is a 7-storied pillar which was built by Bahawal Mayor Jan Sanaya of Digambar Jain sect during 12th century AD. On its 4 corners are engraved idols of Sri Adinathji in Digambar style which each are 5 feet high, and elsewhere are engraved several small idols consecrated to Jain lineage of deities. Rana Kumar's Palace. Rana Kumar's Palace is near the Vijayastambh. This is the birthplace of Maharana Udi Singh, the founder of Udaipur. His life was saved by the heroic act of the maid Parna Dey, who replaced her son in place of the prince, with the result that her son was killed by Banbur. She carried the prince away to safety in a fruit basket. Rani Meerabai also lived in this palace. This is the place where Rani Padmini committed Jauhar with the other ladies in one of the underground cellars. Rani Padmini's Palace. Rani Padmini's palace is from which Allaudin Khalji was allowed to watch a reflection of the Rani by replacing the mirror at such an angle that even if he turned back he could not see the room. Khalji had been warned by the Rani's husband Raw Ratan Singh that if he turned back they would cut his neck. See also, Chittorgarh Fort, the most visited markets and places. The important places and markets besides Chittorgarh Fort are, 1 Fort Road Market, 2 Rana Sangha Market, 3 Sadar Bazaar, 4 Hindustan Zinc Smelter, Chittorgarh, 5 Marble Industry in Chittorgarh, 6 Cement Industry of Chittorgarh, 7 Opium Cultivation, 8 Annual Fair Jauhar Mela, 9 Sri Ramdwara, Ramsnay Sampade, Bundi Road, Chittorgarh, 10 Sainik School, 11 Sri Sabarayan Temple. Other information, Alak Sansthan is a leading group in Chittorgarh. It arranges various co-curricular activities in regular intervals. In Chittorgarh first playgroup was established by ALAKH. Various competitions like dance, solo song, chess, cricket, summer classes, educational workshops, seminars and various adventure activities like parasailing, campfire, mountaineering activities has been arranged by ALAKH time by time. References ABCDE http://www.sagan.com/Chittor HTML, Falling Rain Genomics, Incorporated, Chittorgarh, Provisional Population Totals, Census of India 2011. Office of the Registrar General, India. 2011. Retrieved January 2, 2013. External links, Chittorgarh information.